Zebec. Zebec did the almighty thing today. It ripped again. Actually, it ripped last night about 4:50 a.m. Let's just say this morning, right? I'm talking right now before I enter the gym. Let me do a quick morning update. How you guys feeling today? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. That's all I ask. Get me to 10,000 subs because the Beck is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's doing it well. It's currently at 0.0053. 0.0053. That's the current price point. It went up about 400% in about under a week. My God. It went up a lot of percentages in a week. All right? Don't quote me on the exact percent, but it's doing this thing. What is Zebec? For the people that don't know, it's a payment system. I invested a lot in Zebec because I like their roadmap and I like their technology and I like their utility. Would you like to get paid every second? I would. So why not invest in something that pays people every second, right? They just hooked up with XRP. That's pretty good. Cause I think first they was built on Ethereum. They got to get off Ethereum. Ethereum, it's like anything built on Ethereum just don't. It's just hackable, right? Them smart contracts is hackable. Once they linked up with XRP, that's when I start saying, you know what? This may be a great thing. This may be a great thing. Held my position. Of course, I took my original investment out. Have about roughly 3 million tokens left, right? And I said, I'm going to ride the wave with that one. I'm going to let it do what it do, right? I'm going to let it do what it do. If it goes to $1 in 10 years, excellent. That's free for me because I already took my original investment out and I put that into Crow. That's the next thing that I think is going to skyrocket. Also, XN just came out with its AI agent. So that's another platform that I believe that's going to skyrocket throughout this bull market. So I'm giving you guys this great morning Memorial Day update, right? If you sleep, you made at least, let's just say 300 or 400%. You can't beat that. You can't beat that at all. The stock market don't even make that much. It takes them a lifetime. Hell, it might take them three generations to make 300% if you're averaging 10% a year. Holy, you know, holy. I'm just saying, right? So I like the crypto market better than the stock market. Not saying that I don't own stocks, and I don't see the value of stocks. Oh, I do. But for what's going on right now, it's nothing like this new wave of crypto and the fact that it's open 24 hours. And also the stock market, you know, it's open 5 days a week. Also, it's closed on holidays. So this week you have a 4-day week. Saying it all to say, if we have a 4-day week, you missed out on three days of transactions. In crypto, you don't miss out on that many days of transactions, right? And actually, stock is coming to the blockchain anyway. Stocks are coming to the blockchain. Stocks will be traded. If you notice, a certain stocks trade 24 hours. Stocks will be traded using blockchain technology, right? And tokenization. It will be traded 24 hours a day. So that's one thing I do like about crypto. It's actually helping stock out, right? I like both. Which one do I prefer? The ones that have the most gains. And the ones that have the most gains to me is crypto and utility. Not just any crypto now. I would never tell you, oh, just go out. It's millions of cryptos. I'm talking about the one that have case use. The one that actually helps out the space. The one that makes the space better. Those crypto, right? Those crypto. Sapori TSV said, what's your thoughts on XRP? Bro, you have ever been pegged before? Never been pegged before. I don't even know what that means. Let me know what that means. And my thought on XRP is definitely a keeper. XRP is like a perfect 10. It's like the hot lady in your lineup. You know, as long as she's obeys and she's, you know, feminine and she's just pretty and she just, you know, she know when to talk and when not to talk. You know, XRP is like that. You got to keep her. You got to have her. XRP is like, what's the analogy? What's another analogy I can give you? XRP is like a bag of chips. You can't just have one. You know, you need plenty. It's going to be the new financial system, as you guys know. They're doing lots of businesses with banks, and they're doing a lot of partnerships. And I found out yesterday, talking about XRP, and this is why Flare network is so important, right? Because Flare is what's going to make XRP decentralized, like totally decentralized, right? And I said, that makes sense. I see why XRP want to acquire, what's the stablecoin called? XRP would like to acquire, it's a rumor going on that they're bidding over it with Coinbase. I forget the stablecoin. Circle. There you go. Circle. So when you think about it, it's like, oh, that would be a part of the equation, huh? So I see why Flare is needed in order for them to have a stablecoin that already did hit and roll would do trillions of transactions. So I said, oh, I see exactly what they're doing. I love XRP. Long-term hold for me. Sapiro TV, TSV. If this is your first time here, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You want me to read your comment? Make sure you like my video, subscribe to my channel. Sapiri TSV said, isn't most of is case use XRP is nothing? Huh? You got to do more research before you talk. Case use of XRP is nothing? Do more research. XRP have plenty of case uses. XRP, if the US dollar was XRP, right? As far as transactions, right? You would get your money in 2 to 5 seconds. It can do bank to bank or any peer to peer, right? And you can send trillions of dollars without you paying, if you send an ARC transaction or without you paying an enormous fee. So you have people sending millions and billions of dollars on this ledger, which means that they're paying zero to nothing. XRP has plenty of use cases. Plenty. And they're doing business with the top. They're one of the greats. So XRP, you don't talk about what you don't know about. Isn't most of XRP locked up by the owners? No. Where are you getting your sources from? Where do you get your sources from? Well, you just read the headlines without doing your research. You got to do your research, right? You have to do your research, right? You have to do your research. Shannon Geeve said, I had 136 Bitcoins in my old computer tower, but it out for rubbish collection a long time ago. Very sad story. It's all good. Make sure that you at least own one. That's what I was telling somebody yesterday, right? I was telling a coworker yesterday. He said, Crypto Doe, what do you think about Bitcoin? Now, you have Bitcoin maxis. If it's like, if you own XRP, you're not supposed to talk about Bitcoin. I'm a polymath. Like, I'm not into the Maximus hype. I think Bitcoin is great. I think XRP is great. I think a lot of these things are great. I think everyone should have at least one Bitcoin. That's what I personally think. This is why I say that. And he was like, well, one Bitcoin costs 100,000. I don't have that right now, right? He's a Hispanic guy. I don't have that right now, Papi. One Bitcoin is a 100,000. I don't have that right now. So I say, think about it like this. You're looking at it wrong. Break it down. You can have fractions of it. Means you can have pieces of it. So I told him, I said, well, if you're going to have pieces of it, and Bitcoin right now is at 100K, right? And some change. Put 10,000 into it. He said, I have 10,000. I said, not financial advice. Remember, I can't give you that. He said, no, Papi, no financial advice. I understand. I explained why. I gave him the scarcity scenario. I said it's only 21 million Bitcoin and that's made. Damn near all of them already been bought. It's 19.8 million and just to say 20 million. Let's just round it. That's already in circulation. There's only 1 million left. Michael Saylor keep buying every goddamn week. The U.S. is about to buy 200 Bitcoin per year, I need to buy. You need to buy before the U.S. buy, because once they buy, they have the printer machine. Once they buy, it's over with. They're gonna gobble up the last million. So I told them, I said 10,000. What's 10% of 100,000? $10,000, correct? So I say, if Bitcoin goes to 1,000,000, what's 10%? Not if, when Bitcoin goes to 1,000,000, what's 10% of that million? 100,000. I said, you see. Not looking at it. You didn't 9x your money. I said, when Bitcoin go to 10 million, right, by 2045, what's or prior, what's 10% of 1,000,000? He said 1,000,000. I said, wah wah. I said, wah wah. There you go. There you have it. So I said, the only thing you really need right now is 10,000 in it, right? You put 10,000 in it, you can have millions. You can have millions later, right? Millions. So think about it like that. And it's not too far away. Set a plan, set a goal. Every week, dollar cost average. Can Bitcoin cut from now? Yes, it can go down. In the bear market, it might come back down. If it do, that's a blessing. You know, I'm gonna be buying more, right? And I'm gonna be buying more XRP. Well, XRP, I'm kind of done with XRP because I bought XRP a long time ago. In fact, you know what? I need to buy XRP and put it up on my Caleb and Brown. So I'll be buying some more XRP. I lied about that. So, you know, don't count yourself out. Shannon Jeeves, don't count yourself out. Yes, things happen. You know what happened to me? A lot of things happened to me in this space. I've sent a lot of, I believe I bought a lot of XRP at like let's just say under 20 cents, right? Under 20 cents. I bought a lot of XRP under 20 cents. This is my first time doing the Ledger wallets and sending it, and you know, you making mistakes. So learn from my mistakes. Why I sent the whole thing to a wallet, why I looked at the wallet address, right, and I realized it was the wrong address, changed my whole life. It changed my whole life. Got little planes in the back. President's moving. It changed my whole life. I said, damn, so from now on, every time I have a new address, or Ledger address, or a Treasure Wallet address, send one first to make sure that it reached. Make sure that the transaction came through. Because I learned my lesson. I will never send a lot to one address without verifying the address. And I put the address in myself. And I looked at it 3 times. Oh, yeah, this right. Oh, was I so wrong? So you learn your lesson in this space, right? Hopefully you learn your lesson. If you learn your lesson, it's not a loss. You know, it's not a loss. I get you maybe missed the boat, right? But you can still make sure that you have you're still swimming in the ocean and or have your own ship. So at least just attain to get 1 Bitcoin. That would be my goal. Briggs said, hey, what's going on? This is your first time here. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.